So, today we are going to be doing a bike check on my 2018 Trek Remedy 8. I've had this now a year, just over a year and a month, got it December 2018. I decided to over the 19 model just because the colour scheme. So this is a stealth black, the 2019 was a black and kind of green navy colour. I didn't like that one too much, which is why I decided to go for this one. But my last bike check video was April 2019, and that didn't really come out very well, so I thought, yeah, let's do one now. Excuse the fact my tyre is completely flat. I am going to have to pump that up at some point and fix that, because I've also got something new to install later. And please excuse the fact there is a blue bike here. That's just another bike, hardtail. It's not actually mine, but I kind of need to swap something from that, take something off this, put it on there. So I had to bring it up, but I didn't want to leave it outside because it's a bit miserable. So please excuse that. So let's get into my bike check review of this bike. So let's start at this end of the bike with the dropper post, seat and the rear end of the bike. So let's get into that now. Here we have my dropper post, and this is a 125mm Bontrager dropper line. It's not the best dropper line in the world, but it is okay. It's bearable. This is a Bontrager Arvada comp seat. Personally, I really don't like it. It's too chunky at the front. It's quite soft, so it's not really kind of what you'd expect from a mountain biking seat, really. But it's okay, it does the job, but I'm going to be swapping this out later for a new seat, which I've bought. I bought an STG seat, because they're just my favourite, don't know why. Still talking about my dropper, I've had no real issues with it. It only failed on me a couple of weeks ago, but that was because this had been pushed too far down. We then have Trek's own system, which is called the minilink. This is a system that allows you to alter your geometry and your bottom bracket height. So at the minute, I'm running in the high position, so this means my bottom bracket is raised and my geometry is a degree steeper. Whereas if I swap this over, it's quite easy to do. You just simply take it out, swap it over, put it back in, and your geometry becomes a degree slacker, and your bottom bracket gets lowered 7mm, I think it is. I did find I had quite a few crank strikes when I did this, so I changed it back to how it is now, and that's my favourite mode. Now, they have got rid of this on their 2019 and 20 bikes, just to make a stiffer frame. The shock is now attached to the bottom of the down tube here, but personally, I've had no issues with the full floater, and I really like it. Talking about shocks while we're here. So, as I'm kneeling down, let's talk about my shock here. This is a RockShox Deluxe RT3. I always get it confused, I always call it an RC3 or an RT whatever, but it is an RT3 shock. I think these retail for they're either between £200 and £400. Now, as you will notice, it has not got the extra canister, so it is a non-piggyback shock compared to some others. I'm quite surprised because all Trek bikes, even their top models, come just like this. They don't have a piggyback shock on. And it's also Trek's reactive shock, which is some kind of tuning thing they do to the shocks to enable it to be better, more efficient when pedalling. Although I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of it. I've ridden other bikes without the reactive, and I must admit they feel better. So I would eventually like to swap this out for an RC3 Super Deluxe with, that is a piggyback shock. It's got 3 modes, so it's got open mode, which I'm running at the minute. It's then got trail mode, I think it might be called, which is where it becomes slightly stiffer, or you've then got fully locked out mode. Now, if I can get it in, there you go. It's not fully locked out because, of course, then that's no good because it's putting pressure on the shock, but it kind of is good for climbing. In fact, I'd probably say it's called climb mode rather than fully locked out, so that's good. And I'll put it back to where I had it. Here we then have the rebound adjustment, so if we turn it this way, it's slower, that way quicker, and to be honest, I don't really know what I run, how many clicks I run, but whatever I run, I find it great. I also run 30% sag in my rear shock, because I just think it's better for when you get on the bike, and that's just my personal setup. Moving over to here, we then have our SRAM guide our brakes. These are mixed brakes. Some people love them, some hate them. Personally, I think they're okay. To be honest, I think mine need rebleeding, so I'm going to rebleed them soon. Oh yeah, please excuse the flat tyre as I mentioned earlier, but I'm going to rebleed them soon, so I'll give you an update on them then. But at the minute, they're okay, but their stop and power's not the best. It's kind of, they're progressive brakes, so the harder you squeeze the lever, the further you bring it to the bars, the harder you're going to stop. Whereas some brakes just have a really sharp bite point, which to be honest I quite like and prefer. But they're no issue at the minute, they'll be alright, and they've done well. They're a year and a half old. These are still the original pads I had in there from when I got the bike, so I think they've done pretty well. The only ones I've had to replace are the front ones. Maybe I should look at replacing the rear ones as well, but they're alright for the minute. Back we have 160mm rotor, and then over at the front we then have 180mm rotor, just because better stop and power you need it at the front. We also then have Trek System. I'm not going to lie, I can't remember its full name, but basically is what it does is it means you only have one pivot at the back, because most bikes you'll see they have a pivot here. Oh, I think it's called active braking pivot, I don't know, maybe it's called that ABP, something similar to that. Basically, it's that you're braking and everything's all in this one pivot, so there's no need for an extra pivot here or anything like that. So that's good, because it means there's less to go wrong. Let's now move on to the wheels. So these come with Bontrager Line Comp 30 wheels. I've had no issues with these, no dents in the rim. They've held up well, they've been strong. Actually, as I was saying this, I was just sort of checking around to see if I had any dents, because I've never actually kind of looked properly, but I can't see any. Maybe, nah, that's not a dent, that's good. It also has Knobby Nick 2.4 inch tyres on, super grippy all year round in the summer, the winter, no issues with them. I just need to put a new tube in it because I run tubes, I don't run tubeless yet, although I do plan to go tubeless. So, if you can see me, then good. If you can't, then I apologise, but this bike has SRAM GX Eagle 12 speed. Now, some people say you're lazy if you have an Eagle drivetrain, because that is just such a big gear, but it's super easy, super efficient for climbing uphill. I must admit I use it quite a lot when going up really steep hills. It's really helped, especially if you've got like a really steep hill, like this one at Canon. It's just super steep, really hard to get up, and Eagle gear just helped out so much. Yeah, so having 12 gears is great. You have a wide range of gears, and it's just really good on the trails. Super reactive, great shifting, never let me down. It's always precise, and I've never had any issues with GX. So for those of you that don't know, you have SRAM SX, then NX, then GX. Up front, I'm pretty sure it's a 32 tooth chainring. It might be 36, so I apologise if I've got it wrong. I'm not too good with like specs of this sort of stuff and teeth and chainrings and stuff, because that's not my kind of area. Right, now, so I run DMR Volt 12 pedals. No, well, I think the V means Volt, but they're DMR V12 pedals for short, I think. But I run flats, as you can probably see. I don't run clips. I would like to run clips. However, I just haven't got any shoes yet that are clipped. And once I've got some, I'm going to buy some clip pedals, see how I get on. Although it's definitely helped me a lot to learn on flats, because you get better jumping technique and you learn everything correctly, which I found much better. Moving up front of the bike here, it comes with 718mm width bars. I would like to upgrade these to Renthal Fat Bars V2. I don't know whether to get a 20mm or 30mm rise, but I'm still going to stick to 780. If they come 800, then I might cut 20mm off, because 780 is perfect length. There's already quite a few trees it doesn't fit through, so 800 is just too wide. The new 2020 model, sorry, not the 19, actually comes with 820mm bars, which I should imagine are probably out there. I just think that's too wide, but these are good. I've had no issues with them. They do scratch easily, which is also another reason why I'd like to upgrade them. But apart from that, no issues at all. It also comes with Trek's knock block, which, if you don't know what it's for, is to stop the handlebars from hitting the frame. Because it has a straight down tube, it needs to have something to stop the forks from hitting here, but it also has protection in case that knock block fails, so it will protect your frame. But some people love the knock block, some hate it. I've had no issues with it, so I'm quite happy with it. It doesn't really affect me. Although going around some tight switchbacks, like the one up in Fort Bill in Scotland, going down Top Chief, there's one corner on there where this just will not fit round because the handlebars cannot be turned enough to get around it. All my cables, they're quite tidy because I find if I don't cable tie them together, then they just rattle like anything and sound awful. So I've cable tied them so they don't rattle anymore. So moving over to the front quickly, because I know this video's already gone on a little while, I've just seen the time on my phone, but we have 160mm RockShox Lyric RC. This is the lower model for the Lyric because you have Lyric RC. I think there's an RC2, then there's definitely an RC3. But they're fine, they've done well, they're really good forks. They've got the charger damper, and they're just really good forks. I've had no issues with them. They've got great low speed compression. That could just be for how I've tuned it, but I'm happy with them. Again, I run 30% sag in the front, and then I also have this Fox mudguard on the front here. I got when I got my knee pads, so I fitted this on, and that looks super good because it matches the colour of the bike. Please excuse the fact I'm kneeling is to get this in shot. So it's what I might do is I might have the lowers of the forks just changed, because I would ultimately like to have the red RockShox Lyric RC on here, but they're what, £700, £800, which I think is quite a lot just to replace the forks, just for the colour. So I'm not going to fork out, but I'm not going to spend all that money just for forks. So it's what I might do is you can buy the lowers from Worldwide Cyclery for about £250, just the lowers, so just this part, and you can get the red ones. So I'm going to see if that would work and can be compatible. It should be, and then hopefully just get the lowers. So I have red forks on the black bike because that looks really great. I've seen it on a nice Canyon, and I think that'd be great. So I would also just like to mention, it feels weird because I'm kneeling right down here, Trek also have some of these bash guards that they've got along the chainstay, along the down tube underneath. They're super good, they protect the frame, never come off, and I'm really happy with them. It's also got very neat internal cable routing, so people who don't like it messy, very neat and tidy all around here, all through here and everything. So I'm super happy with that. And yeah, that is it really for this bike. So I am now going to fit my new seat, so I'll show you that in a minute. I would also just like to show you guys, I finally, after years of saying I'm going to get one, got a Stuntman chest harness. I'm super happy about this because it's just such a better chest harness. The straps are tighter, it's got a bigger faceplate on it, so it's more stable. So I'm really happy about that. So the footage should be even more stable now. Excuse the elastic bands, it's because I lost the bit that attaches the GoPro to the gimbal, stupidly. But that's alright. So I'm excited to try this out, see how much more stable it is. I'm going to end this video here. I know I haven't mentioned pricing and stuff, but I've mentioned this in my videos before, and when I've also done like the bike in ride review, so go and check that out. I'll put it in afterwards as one of the videos you can watch. But I'm now about to fit the seats. You'll see that as you'll see it as a time lapse as the video is ending. But thank you for watching. I'll see you on the trail. So here it is. I did open the top because I didn't want to expose other information, you know, like addresses and things. So here it is. So my new seat, as you can tell, I've already opened it. So it's an SDG Circuit MTN seat. Now some people really love these, some people really hate them. Personally, I really love them, I just think they look great. So let's get into fitting it now.